Look at that, what a beautiful afternoon to go for a drive. Oh, you're going to be complaining about the sun in your eyes? I know, I know, because it's glary. Let me get the sunglasses out. Yeah, well, I've got some more really good news for all the really wisest Prado owners with a Prado Hilux 1KD FTV that have done their maintenance and they're in the crack piston fund. Awesome news. Look, so I think by now you know, if you know me, you know, worst case scenario, you missed a lot of videos, you ended up with a blocked oil pickup or some flogged injectors and your engine's cactus, you've cracked a piston, you missed all the information that you need a new engine. Brand new engine is what I'm talking about when I say new engine. I only recommend, just like brand new, genuine or OEM supplied original injectors, it's the same thing for all the other parts generally, and definitely your engine if you need to replace your engine in your Toyota or any other make or model for that matter. Over the decades we've seen way too much problems with rebuilt engines, blowing smoke, leaking oil, cracking pistons, that sort of thing in general, that you would only want a brand new one. And the brand new engine is actually better value for money because it comes with injectors already installed in it and a number of other things depending which part number you use. So what's this video all about? Worst case scenario, you've cracked a piston, you've got a blocked oil pickup, your engine's cactus. I want to say and reiterate that a brand new genuine long motor from probably your local Toyota dealer, if you don't want to get it from me, is what you want. But if you get it from me, you'll probably get better value for money and all the other bits and pieces you need, everything you need and nothing you don't, like the injector kit. There's a couple of different ways to get an engine. You can pay for it out of your pocket, that's okay. Or if you don't want to pay for it, if you want it free or cheap, then there's the crack piston fund, and there's all the other ways you can get a free or cheap engine that we talk about in the videos, particularly in the playlists. Some of those videos will be in a playlist called Crack Pistons or Free Engines or something like that, don't you think? So there's probably about 200 people in the Crack Piston Fund, and we've had that for years, and there's been bugger all crack pistons or people claiming against the Crack Piston Fund. You know, that's where there's a group of people that make a contribution. I hold on to that in a separate account, and in engines, we own engines also, waiting for the day for it to happen. So we're accumulating a bit of money. I said, what do? Do we sit on it? We buy the engines. Everybody unanimously said buy the engines because they were going up, and they continue to go up in price. So the Crack Piston Fund currently owns 3 engines, and they've also got nearly enough money in the bank for another 2 engines. So that's nearly 5 engines. And I say what I do and I do what I say. If you don't want to miss it, subscribe, turn the bell on, because some people are looking for a bit more peace of mind. The general guideline is if you've put in a few $100 to the Crack Piston Fund, or you've got a payment of about $20 a month, which is less than 1 coffee a week on average, which is absolutely bugger all, you're probably going to get a free engine if you crack a piston. Okay, you've got to follow all the videos. Just because you heard this one, that does not mean you've got enough information, and things are subject to change without notice. I've got to say that to cover myself, because things change. If there's 10 crack pistons in one day, we're in a bit of trouble. But everybody will get something, and that's what I'm going to include in this video, an absolute guarantee, and some bonus things that I've said in previous videos over the last years that I'm going to come good on. It's your money, I don't need it. Okay, so one thing I said was, when we get to a point, we might have free turbos or half price turbos included. We might have transmissions included, things like this. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do at this stage. I don't think we need to own more than 3 engines. They're at our engine replacement workshop near Bendigo, ready to go. Anyone with a crack piston in the Crack Piston Fund is going to get looked after, #1 gold class VIP priority. Now, if I'm away on a trip, it's going to be a bit harder to do. You're going to need to be a bit patient, but we're going to get things done really quickly. As the few people that have had engines replaced with us know, we don't muck around. Whether it was a Crack Piston Fund job, because I think there was one of those, yeah, maybe only one, and there's been a few that weren't in the Crack Piston Fund, but we looked after them and got the job done really swiftly and right the first time. They're coming from interstate. we're not going to muck around and be coming back for warranty, second goes, third goes, maybe second time round. Everything's right the first time on all these vehicles. It has to be, because we can't afford to be covering the cost of us traveling or you shipping the vehicle back to us, or whatever would have to happen to solve problems. And this is why we only use new, genuine engine, new parts, and do the job right the first time, taking the time it takes to get it right the first time, which I think is what Toyota owners would like. Now, this is what I'm going to do. Where we're at the moment, 3 engines and enough money in the bank for nearly another 2 engines, and heading that way quickly with all those awesome people with regular payments. Now, if you've contributed at least $500 and you've got a $20 a month payment, and I prefer minimum $20 payments, $5 a week, it's just making too many transactions. Can you please change it to monthly, 20, 30 bucks, whatever you want. Doesn't bother me how much, it's up to you, because the more you have, the more coverage you're going to have. If you put in 1,000 at this point in time, I can tell you, if you crack a piston today, all you've got to do is get the car to me, RAC, top level cover, directly from the event to the Prado engine replacement hospital. They're probably going to cover it, okay? But you need to follow that up, check that out. That's the experiences I've had with myself and of course other people with this sort of cover. But what I'm going to do is, so I could guarantee today, if you cracked a piston, right, and you've put in, let's just say $1,000 or even 500, right, 500, and you've got $20 a month set up, mate, you're just going to get a new engine, job done. Now, of course, it doesn't include optional extras, things you might like. Oh, you want a new starter motor, you want a new alternator, oh, you want a new turbo oil, oh, you want some new engine mounts. Oh, so there's optional extras, okay? You may or may, there might be things that will recommend that you change. Maybe it's an old radiator and you should put a new one. I'm not necessarily going to say that. Depends on the condition of the old one. Yes, maybe it's probably a good idea, isn't it? But that's something to think about. But if you've contributed at least 1,000 and you've got a payment of $30 a month, that's going to look really favourable. And I think I'm going to throw a radiator at you. Get the way do you understand how I roll? Now, some guarantee, some peace of mind. So somebody says, if I put $1,000 in, how do I know I'm going to get anything? Well, to be quite honest, you don't. You've got to trust me. You've got to listen to the videos. You've got to get to know me, which a lot of people are. All the wise people are still listening to what I'm saying. All the other people are gone. And that doesn't bother me. I'm only here to help the people that like the info, that like the maintenance program, that like the way I roll, that think I'm okay, that trust me, and they want to go ahead with this program because it's bloody beautiful, isn't it? But you want some reassurance. Okay, so here's a guarantee, and you might not like it, but I reckon it's pretty good. If you've put in at least $1,000 to the crack piston fund, and I'm not saying you have to do that, I'm just giving you a guarantee, which might, I suppose, motivate people to top up their balance to 1,000 for this guarantee. And that will grow the balance, and it will enable me to be able to do more with the money and help more people, which is what I want to do. Okay, so you've put in at least 1,000, or you're going to have a look how much you've contributed, add it together. You need to keep records of that. When you come to me and say, hey, Ann, guess what's happened? You need to say, this is how much I've contributed, these are the dates when it started, these are the amounts. I will, in due course, check and confirm that. But I need you to tell me initially what's gone down, okay? You need to have all your maintenance up to date. No chips, tunes, remaps. They're the #1 cause of cracked pistons. We don't support that, okay? And we can check and see what's gone down. So if you think you're going to pull a Swifty, it's probably not going to work out for you. It might, but it's probably not, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, most people that are going to do that, I don't think they're listening this far in the video. If you've put in at least, what did I say, $1,000, and you've got a payment of $20 a month set up, at this point in time, I'm going to guarantee you're going to get at least, you want to guarantee, I can only guarantee what I can absolutely guarantee. You're going to get at least $5,000 worth of assistance towards an engine, right? Guaranteed. Now, you're more likely going to get 10, more likely you're going to get an engine and labour if you put in that much. That's how I feel today. But in a week's time, we might have a couple of cracked pistons, things change, and I haven't time to do another video, and I'm giving you a guarantee now. You know, you just use this video and you say, you take me to court if I won't pay, and you say, hey, you said in this video, blah, blah, blah. So that means stay tuned, because if things change rapidly, I will do another video, which means you need to be subscribed with the bell on, not miss a thing. Or you could be going, hang on a minute, but I put in 1,000, I get at least 5 grand, and you missed a video where we've had 10 cracked pistons in 3 weeks and there's no money left, because that can happen. This is not an insurance company. This is not insurance. There is no guarantee. This is you're donating money into a separate bank account that I've got sitting there to hold these funds. There's no running costs. I don't charge anything. This is me doing you a favour. It's actually a time waster for me, because you've supported me. I've got this bloody problem where I want to do things to give back to you guys for supporting me, right? So it's I help you, you help, because I gave you the info first, right? And then, so I help you, you help me. I mean, you thought you helped yourself, but you actually help me when you purchase parts, because it does pay the bills, right? And then I go, hang on a minute, I'm doing all right for these people. And these people, look how good these people are. These are some of the best people I've ever met. What else can I do for these people, okay? So there's a guarantee. What else are we going to do? Better hurry up and wrap this one up, because I've been waffling too long, right? What else are we going to do? We're going to do a guarantee at the moment while we've got that balance and growing, and this is to motivate people. Again, you've got to have put in at least 1,000 and a minimum monthly payment of $20 a month set up, and of course a little bit more is even more favourable, but that's up to you, okay? Minimum $1,500 contribution to a turbo failure, but it must be a new genuine turbo from me. We're not putting any money into, like, the rebuild crap injectors, the rebuild crap engines, and the rebuild crap turbos, okay? And you might be able to get a good one. I'm just talking general crap, so you know how I feel. I'm a 100% guy. Get it right the first time. No poor man pays twice with anything I'm going to roll with, okay? Once bitten, twice shy. Haven't been bitten for decades, right? Learn lessons on all those other makes and models and all that aftermarket crap and all those headaches. The lesson is stick with Toyota, stick with genuine parts, do things the way I want it done, because it's tested and proven the way it works. Okay, minimum $1,500 towards or off a genuine turbo, right? So people that listen to the videos, they've got a ballpark idea. They know what a genuine turbo is worth from me. It's cheaper than your Toyota dealer. I'll give you an example. Toyota dealer for a genuine Prado turbo, it's about $4 grand now, right? I just sent one the other day, delivered to your door with a gasket kit, closer to 3. What was it? 3, 4, somewhere like that. I don't even remember, right? Posted to your door with the gasket kit and VIP group access with videos on how to install it, and the best customer service in the world, mate. I mean, who wouldn't be subscribed and all over this and just put up with the waffle for how good the service is? People are going to be going out buying Prados and Hiluxes just to have one of these cars and engines to be part of this, right? I mean, how good is it? Anyway, and we have bugger all claims anyway, if you want to call it that. So, you know, the risk of you're going to, you know, do your nuts on it, unlikely, right? And if it doesn't happen to you, that's good, because it's not all about, there he is, he's got a spare engine on the back of the ute and he's blown another engine. Anyway, wasn't a Toyota, so it's all good. Plenty of makes and models have problems. We choose the best, the most reliable. Mate, I know these cars and vehicles inside out. We use them on trips. They're tested and proven. Anyway, let me stop waffling. I'm not telling you how good I am. I'm trying to tell you we've got the background and experience to know these things. What else am I going to give you? Okay, transmissions. It's rare that you have a transmission problem. So on a new genuine transmission through me, so obviously these sort of things help if you're around Melbourne. Turbo we can send anywhere. Transmission, maybe. We'll just see how it works out. But a new genuine transmission, minimum $3,000 off, okay? So if you're in the crack piston fund and you've contributed at least $1 grand altogether and you've got minimum $20 a month automatic payments set up, tick the box, yep, done. That means at the moment you're guaranteed a new engine installed, right? Done. That's what it is today, but that's subject to change any minute, right? But the guarantee is still the same. You're guaranteed minimum 5 times the amount that you contributed is the current guarantee, okay? That doesn't happen to you. Oh, you have a turbo fail. Instead of a Hilux turbo costing you about $3 grand, it's going to cost you about $1,500. I mean, so what, you put in 1,000 and you're going to get a $3,000 turbo for $1,500. So you're only going to pay $2.5 grand, and you're still in the crack piston fund. Of course, it's going to look more favourable if you make more contributions, because of course you've used some of the funds. So you're going to go, well, that was awesome, but if you've got a conscience, you're going to feel like you should chuck a little bit extra in, you know, when you can afford it, whatever, it's all good. Okay, and then the transmission thing, oh, your transmission's done, oh, it's $6,000. Guess what? $3,000, and I'm not making up prices here. I'm just taking a wild guess, could be more or less, whatever, but it's going to be somewhere around the $6,000, might be 7, might be 8, might add a torque converter to that, but the point is, $3,000 for $1,000. Now, why is it not $5,000? Well, because it's a cracked piston fund. So we're focused mainly on the engine thing because it is expensive, but I want to try all this. Again, subject to change, so subscribe, turn the bell on. There's your update for all the cracked piston people that are worried about that, the people in the cracked piston fund, the VIP group. If you're not in the cracked piston fund, I reckon there's a playlist or some playlists that talk about it where I'll waffle like this. Have a listen to them, and if you don't care and you don't like it, then you can move on. But if you do like it, you know what to do, and I'll catch you in the next video. I've got things to do, mate. Look at this day. Absolutely beautiful. Catch you later, see.